Listen, to me, it still appears that we have only set back the Iranian nuclear program by a handful of months. There's no doubt there was damage done to the program, but the allegations that we have obliterated their program just don't seem to stand up to reason. I just do not think the president was telling the truth when he said this program was obliterated. There's certainly damage done to the program, but there's still significant remaining capability. I walk away from that briefing still under the belief that we have not obliterated the program. The president was deliberately misleading the public.
Well, that was Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut speaking after top intel officials briefed senators about the U.S. strikes on Iran. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware was also in that briefing, and he joins us now. We're grateful for your time, Senator. So you heard your colleague, Chris Murphy of Connecticut, saying that the president wasn't telling the truth when he called the Iranian nuclear sites obliterated. We know this president is prone to hyperbole and exaggeration pretty constantly. But from what you saw in that briefing moments ago, do you agree with Senator Murphy?
Well, Alex, look, first, I want to express gratitude that the men and women of our armed forces who were the target of Iranian strikes at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar survived, largely uninjured, unharmed, and to express thanks to the men and women of the Air Force and the Navy. Remember, they're not the policymakers. They don't decide what actions to take. They just carry them out. In the briefing I've just left, we did get more details about the strike and about how it was carried out and by which forces. I think it is too early for any of us to reach a conclusive estimate of exactly how much damage was done to Iran's nuclear enrichment program and how much capacity remains. And it's important that we not politicize the career professionals in our intelligence community. So whether it's President Trump immediately declaring that the entire program was obliterated, which to me seems truly premature, or whether it's a characterization of specific sites and capabilities and how much they were harmed, that's a matter of being more precise. Here's what matters to me. The administration, in the week that Israel was striking Iran and we were not participating or actively facilitating with those strikes, the administration had the time to come to Congress and to consult before deciding to go ahead with what was a significant aerial assault on Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities. And they owe us immediate, updated, detailed assessments as the intelligence community completes them about just how much damage was done, what capabilities remain, and of particular importance to me, whether or not other nations that are nuclear nations, Pakistan, North Korea, Russia, make the decision to help the Iranians rebuild, restart, or accelerate their nuclear program. Look, almost every nation on earth, and I believe every senator here serving, thinks that Iran having a nuclear bomb is unacceptable and that an Iranian enrichment program that is designed to develop a bomb is dangerous. So we should be able to come to a common understanding of what the risks are here, and the administration owes us consultation and briefings as soon as they know more.
Senator, may I ask, that which you are concerned about, and you want to answer the question too, that week that Israel was doing its bombings, when you say the president, the administration had time to come to Congress, why do you think they did not? Was it because potentially, and I realize there'll be speculation on your part, sir, was it because the president was getting lobbied very hard by the prime minister of Israel, and he was worried that perhaps Congress would say, we don't approve of this, we don't want to go in and bomb Iran?
That's a reasonable guess, of course. Look, under a previous president in a previous situation in the Middle East, whether or not Congress would approve of a strike was an open question that was actively debated in the Foreign Relations Committee, on which I serve now and served then. And so if Congress is to retake some of its critical role in approving use of military force, we also have to be clear and swift and appropriate in when and how we will provide that authorization. This is a two-sided relationship. We have to be trustworthy, and the administration needs to trust us with intelligence and with consultation. And so I reject any move on the part of the administration to narrow or restrict what information or intelligence they're going to share with the appropriately cleared members of Congress. But I also urge my colleagues to avoid doing anything that would undermine confidence in our ability to do our oversight job promptly and professionally.
Which brings me to another question, with the president having posted on Truth Social just a short time ago, sir, that he believes the Democrats are the source of the leak of a classified report on those U.S. strikes on Iran. He says prosecution should follow. Your response?
Not helpful, but look, let me go back to a point I made a minute ago. Our intelligence community and our military is the most capable in the world. And in order for us to understand and make decisions about what's in the best interest of the American people, we need to have unfettered, unfiltered access to the products of our intelligence community. So when there are leaks, as there clearly was a couple of days ago, that undermines that trust. I don't know how the president would have concluded which party was responsible for it. In the past, there's been members of administrations and both parties who have leaked critical information. But let me also say this. All of this is distracting from what the Republican majority here in the Senate is working very hard on, which is a bill to strip away health care from tens of millions of Americans and to cut tens of billions of dollars out of critical programs that provide health care and support for Americans in need. Earlier today, I met with 50 nurses from my home state of Delaware who were united in saying that slashing Medicaid will crowd our emergency rooms, will harm disabled Delawareans, seniors in nursing facilities, children about to be born. And so they urged me to vote against that bill, which is the next thing on the agenda here in the Senate. The more time we spend pointing fingers back and forth and fighting over matters in the Middle East, which are important matters and urgent for Congress to pay attention to, but we are at risk of being distracted from a big vote that is about to happen here in the Senate that will have dramatic consequences for the American people.
Given all you have on your plate, sir, Senator Chris Coons, I'm very grateful for your time. Thank you so much.